The assassination of Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah in Israeli airstrikes in Lebanon has now stirred protests in Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. Thousands of Shia Muslims, we've been told, came out on the roads at key historical sites including the Chota Imambara, the Ghantaghar and Bada Imambara. Protesters were seen holding banners and chanting anti-Israel and anti-America slogans. During the demonstrations, protesters also set fire to the Israeli flag and burnt an effigy of Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, expressing their outrage against Israel's aggression in Palestine and neighboring countries such as Lebanon and Yemen. However, during the protest, certain visuals have now also come out where protesters were seen holding photographs of Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah, who has been eliminated in the Israeli airstrikes. My colleague has now spoken to a man called Saif Abbas, and he is the Shia leader who was one of the leaders of the protest that has taken place in Lucknow. Listen in.
इजरायली हमले में मारे गए हिजबुल्लाह चीफ हसन नसरुल्लाह की मौत के बाद पूरे देश में शिया समुदाय के जो लोग हैं वो शोक मना रहे हैं। इस वक्त हम मौजूद हैं राजधानी लखनऊ में। हम आपको तस्वीरों में साफ तौर पर दिखाएंगे कि आप देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ के ऊपर 3 दिन का जो है वो शिया समुदाय ने यहाँ पर शोक मना रहे हैं। 3 दिन तक लगातार शोक मनाया जाएगा और लगातार प्रोटेस्ट यहाँ पे किया जा रहा है। पैदल मार्च निकाले जा रहे हैं। पोस्टर लोग जो हैं इजराइल और अमेरिका के साफ तौर पर आप तस्वीरों में देख सकते हैं लोग जला रहे हैं। काफी बड़ी संख्या में राजधानी लखनऊ में शिया समुदाय हजारों की संख्या में पैदल मार्च निकालकर शोक मनाते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं। हमारे साथ शिया धर्मगुरु मौलाना सैफ अब्बास भी हमारे साथ बात करने के लिए हैं। सर, लगातार जो है हसन नसरुल्लाह की मौत के बाद लगातार देखा जा रहा है शिया समुदाय शोक मनाता चला जा रहा है, पैदल मार्च निकाले जा रहे हैं, क्या कुछ?
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। मैं समझता हूं कि जो शहीद नसरुल्लाह के लिए मसला है उसमें सिर्फ शिया समुदाय नहीं बल्कि हर समुदाय के लोगों को शोक मनाना चाहिए, क्योंकि जो नसरुल्लाह थे उन्होंने मानवता के लिए जो है अपनी जान को कुर्बान किया है। उन्होंने जो इंसानियत के ऊपर भक्षक बने हुए राक्षस थे उनके लिए उन्होंने मुकाबला करते हुए अपनी जान को दिया है। आज एक बात जरूर होना चाहिए कि आतंकवाद उसको क्लियर होना चाहिए। आतंकवाद किसको कहते हैं? अगर आतंकवाद को आप देखिएगा तो आतंकवाद इजराइल की तरफ से हो रहा है, जहां बच्चों को मारा जा रहा है, जहां अस्पतालों पे बम गिराए जा रहे हैं, जहां औरतों पे। नसरुल्लाह को जिस तरीके से मेन स्ट्रीम मीडिया कह रहा है इंतहाई अफसोसनाक है। मीडिया को चाहिए कि थोड़ा सा तज्जिया करे और गौर करे कि नसरुल्लाह जो है वो मानवता की रक्षा कर रहे थे। इजराइल जो है वो मानवता को किस तरीके से तबाह कर रहा था, उसके लिए इंटरनेशनल कोर्ट का उदाहरण है और यूनाइटेड नेशन का उदाहरण है कि उसको देखा जाए कि किस तरीके से इन लोगों ने नेतन्याहू पर टिप्पणी की है। नसरुल्लाह ने इंसानियत को बताया। कोई मुझको बताए कि नसरुल्लाह ने जो है कहीं भी किसी भी मजलूम के ऊपर जुल्म किया हो, किस बच्चे को मारा, किस अस्पताल पे बम गिराए। वो अपनी रक्षा, मानवता की रक्षा कर रहे थे।
हम बात करें ये जैसे विदेशों का मामला, उसको लेके यहाँ बड़ी संख्या में इस तरह इतना बड़ा प्रोटेस्ट किया गया।
देखिए, विदेश का मामला नहीं है मसला। अगर आप विदेश के ऊपर जाइएगा तो मैं एक बात आपसे कहना चाह रहा हूँ कि हिंदुस्तान ने हमेशा इजराइल के खिलाफ क्या रवैया रखा, ये आपसे बेहतर कौन जानता है। हमारे
वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग commentary there by Maulana Saif Abbas, the Shia leader who has now emerged as one of the leaders of the protest march that took place in Lucknow last night. Joining me on the broadcast, Chota Basu, editor of the Sunday Guardian, Shamshavi Shrain, advocate, Major Mohammad Ali Shah, Impar panelist, and Professor G.V.R. Shastri, political analyst, with us on the broadcast. Chota, we have this Maulana Saif Abbas who says that Hezbollah was fighting the fight for humanity. He's asking which hospital or which school or who has Hezbollah really attacked, what really is the problem that the world has with Hezbollah, because as per Maulana Saif Abbas, Hezbollah has been fighting a big fight for humanity, is completely forgotten the terror CV of Hezbollah. We've put that out on our screens also. What all activities Hezbollah has actually been involved in since its inception in 1982. But look at this. Decades later, we have this Maulana Saif Abbas in Lucknow telling young people that this was a man who was fighting a very peaceful fight for humanity, and look what the barbaric Israel has done.
Well, all I can say is that I think he lives in, obviously he's cut off from, what is going on. He doesn't know anything, and if he makes his faith the primary justification for whatever he is saying, then he's totally wrong. He's totally blinded by the propaganda. He has been radicalized, he has been brainwashed, he has no clue. In fact, if I can bring in a little personal element in this, I was in Israel last week. On Wednesday, 6:30 in the morning, Hezbollah launched a ballistic missile, which is a 1,000-kilometer range. There were sirens early morning. We had to get up and rush to a safe place because there was a ballistic missile coming towards civilian heart of Tel Aviv. And you see, it was good that the Israelis were able to intercept that missile, otherwise they would have hit the civilian population. What is going on in Israel right now, I'm not even going into what the Hezbollah has been doing over the years, because that's like a history sheet. I just wrote a piece where I said, when it comes to the Iranian terror machinery, Hezbollah is the heart of it.
Yes.
When you are looking at Nasrallah's own experience, record, it's actually like a history sheet. Okay, what they have done, they are constantly throwing rockets and now also missiles towards the whole north of Israel. 70,000 people have been displaced from there. One-sided, we keep hearing this one-sided story about, how the Palestinians are being murdered by Israel, how they are being bombed. But what these people are doing and what these people did October 7th, after that, what was the need for Nasrallah to ensure that the Hezbollah got involved in it? From October 8th, they declared a war on Israel. Look at the kind of stuff, the horror. They equate it with, the Holocaust of the what happened under the Germans. It was as bad as that. Now, the man who was behind it, and it is not just that. When you are looking at Nasrallah, all the terror activities in the region, he was at the center of it, right up to Syria. So the very fact that this man is going to be venerated for something, for his most notorious acts, is unbelievable. And
but
why
Joyita,
aren't these, can I just mention,
yeah.
Why aren't these people protesting what for example, the Hindu community is facing in a place like Bangladesh? If they are so interested in international affairs, why aren't they talking about it?
I say forget about that aspect also. Then, of course, you're having high expectations there. Of course, that's the expectation that comes from people who clearly think that Hassan Nasrallah stood for humanity. So, of course, Joyita, your point stands corrected there. But I just want to understand, Joyita, Hezbollah's charter of inception clearly states that one of our main goals is completely erasing Israel from the map of the world. That's humanity.
Yeah, that is the whole point. You are talking about right now, and that charter 1982, now you are looking at it, this is 2024, you are looking at erasing a population of 9 million people, just because your religious leaders, your spiritual leaders have told you that these are bad people. There should be a genocide against them, there should be a holocaust against them. So there are 9 million people, you will just exterminate them. You see, the very fact, instead of, look at it this way, in terms of what Israel has built for itself, it has become a first world country, developed country, technologically developed. Whatever they have done, the very fact, maybe they have had US backing, Didn't these people get a lot of money from international organizations, aid, this, that? It applies to that whole region. You know, all the people who are opposed to Israel, they have been getting a lot of international money. What have they done with that money? Either the leaders themselves have become very rich. It applies to Hamas, it applies to Hezbollah, it applies to Iranians, it applies to all the leaders over there. That particular, you know, the Shia crescent that Iran is trying to build. And otherwise, they have built tunnels, they have bought arms, they have not done anything for the people as such. And now they grudge the fact that what Israel has become. So you see, that I think is the fundamental problem, and they have made their people believe that they can eradicate this whole country of 9 million people, when frankly we saw, you know, when it actually came to war, I mean, they were nowhere. I mean, they can throw rockets, they can target rockets at individuals, at the civilian population, but when it comes to the army, look at what happened to Hezbollah, look at what is happening to the Houthis. So this big, you know, mirage that they have, this big thing that they have in terms of, you know, I mean, there will be victory from Jordan, from the river to the sea, there is going to be, Palestine will be free and all. Instead of doing all that, why don't you just sit down and just pipe down? Think in terms of your people, think of development. Do not try to destroy, just try to create something new, something constructive.
Okay, Major Muhammad Ali Shah, bring you into the conversation. This disturbing trend that has emerged now in India in the past few days, where a day before yesterday we had political parties in Kashmir, PDP and NC, their leaders announcing that they will suspend their campaign, not simply because they feel for the people of Palestine, because they feel for the people of Gaza, where yes, many innocent lives have been lost, but specifically a Mehbooba Mufti calling Hassan Nasrallah a martyr. And yesterday we see 10,000 people in Lucknow protesting in support. Firstly, how many of these people do you feel even understand what they're doing? And at the same time, how do we now counter this very troubling narrative that is emerging? Because I say narrative because this has only happened really, I would say, in India. I've been reading online posts of influencers, of analysts, political analysts, other types of journalists from Yemen, from Lebanon, from Syria, from Jordan, all of them stating that they have breathed somewhere a sigh of relief over the fact that this man, Hassan Nasrallah, has been eliminated. However, in India, in Lucknow, we see 10,000 people protesting for him. Where do you think this troubling trend is emerging from, and how do we now need to counter it? That's the main question. How do we counter and educate people? I'm not saying stop their protest, so stop their right to protest, because I know then the conversation goes in an entirely different direction. How do we strike that balance?
Right, Devika, as you very well said, that how many of them actually understand it? I doubt it. I mean, the same people who are protesting, if you ask them 5 things about Hassan Nasrallah, they would not be knowing. They would not be knowing that he was born in 1960. They would not be knowing that he went to Iraq, where Saddam Hussein had carried out a movement where he was expelling all Shia from Iraq, so he had to leave Iraq. How many of them would be knowing that he went to Iran for his theological studies? People don't know. People don't know when he joined the political organization. It was a political organization as well in 1982. In fact, how many of them would be knowing in 1992, in fact, when the chief of Hezbollah, Abbas al-Musawi, was killed in an airstrike again by the Israeli Defense Forces. That's the time he took over. They would not be knowing. And how many attacks Hezbollah would have carried out, they would not be knowing. So, firstly, I would urge people to please maintain calm, think with a cool mind, and not interfere, not meddle with affairs that do not concern them. The nation should come first, always and every time. It's the nation first. Now, the very fact is, what are they trying to prove? It is indeed distressing to see people protesting, and by protesting, what will they achieve? What will you gain? It's just, I don't understand. Rather, on the contrary, I would rather, I don't mind, forget about Bangladesh. That's a too far-fetched thing. Let me see people raise voice on Manipur, for that matter. Let these people come forward and say that, people, very few people will be knowing that the Indian ambassador to Lebanon is from Manipur. They are Indian army contingent as part of the UN peacekeeping force. Like we send UN peacekeeping forces to Congo, to Sudan, to Lebanon. So they are Indian army contingents, which they are soldiers of all castes, because in the army there's no caste. They are only one religion, right? They are Kukis and they are Maites, they are Nagas. How beautiful this is! They are working shoulder to shoulder to get world peace. I would rather appreciate that they would have spoken on that. But by a destructive protest, by a protest, no. Okay, everyone has every right to protest, but this kind of protest, I mean, people do not understand much. And let me just tell you, as the way they say history repeats itself, the previous Hezbollah commander, Abbas Musawi, also was killed in an Israeli airstrike. In 1985, there was Beirut car bombings. That time, Hezbollah leader Mohammed Hussein Fadullah, he was targeted. The assassination attempt failed at that time. On 28 July 1989, Israeli commandos, they had kidnapped Sheikh Abdul Ahmad Karim Obeid, the leader of Hezbollah at that time also. But the action led to adoption of UN Security Council Resolution 638, which condemned all hostages taken by the side. On 16 February 1992, that's the time when Abbas al-Musawi, his wife, son and 4 others who were there was an airstrike. On 31st March 1995, Rida Yassin, who is also known as Abu Ali, was killed in a single... And rather, I would just like to make a slight mention over here about our Indian soldiers who are there in peacekeeping force in Lebanon. They are nursing staff, military nurse service, and they're from all over India. But again, the most beautiful thing is we are talking about Manipur. We have Kukis, Maitir, and Nagas working shoulder to shoulder in Lebanon for world peace and humanity.
Shamshavi Shrink, bring you into the conversation. I want to keep, like I said, let's keep the emotional part of it also aside. The fact that our own people are also serving in these peacekeeping forces abroad. Keeping all of that aside, I'm talking from a perspective of just simple logic. What do some of these Maulanas sitting in Uttar Pradesh, what do they have to do with Hezbollah?
Point is that only that people are not able to understand that starting from that from someone's angle, Israel might be a very good country doing all good. They are just trying to save themselves from a different mindset. What things are happening with Palestine and with others is actually wrong. It depends on how you are taking it. All right. In the end point is that killing a innocent human being is wrong. To kill just one person, there are several others who are being killed. That is wrong. Now coming back to this point, looking at the world politics as if for now, everywhere something or the other wrong is going on. So you have to make sure that in your own country, you have to make sure that none of these kind of elements should enter your own space, and you should not be supporting anyone. Support your own country. If something wrong is happening in your own country, support them, help them out. Yes, as the previous speaker said, that if you want to go for a protest, go for them and not for someone who is not from India. Because looking at the world news as of for now, yes, World War III is right round the corner. We have to make sure that everything is okay here in India. We have to make sure that we all are here with love, and we all are here.
Yes, but Shamshavi Jain, how do we ensure that? That's my question. Because the moment now someone raises a question, then it will again be about targeting the Muslim minority of India. Look, you won't even let them protest. How do we go about this? That's where it gets tricky, right? Because one does wonder, why are 10,000 people sitting in Lucknow feeling so sorry for a Hassan Nasrallah and completely overlooking his reign of terror that he has masterminded across the world. I understand your point where people want to have their own thoughts on what's happening. Yes, there could be people rightly so, who think that what Israel is doing is absolutely barbaric, it's absolutely wrong. But most of us are not out on the streets either protesting for Israel or against it. So what is it that is driving some of these people to join such protests on the street, which they probably don't even understand anything about? It seems like it is leadership like this Maulana Saif Abbas who clearly are then peddling some sort of lies, and that's the troubling aspect.
Yes, I would agree. Since unfortunately, when the elections are just round the corner, or something of this sort of happens, so that it is easier for people to just have a name like you have been talking about this so and so Mr. Maulana, so that you just get a name, you just get a fame, and there is a impression that I have a huge backing behind me, that when I say something or I make a statement, there are so many bulk of people who actually follow me. So this is the kind of impression it will actually create. Otherwise, yes, making a protest over here, it might leave a little impression all over the world that here in India also someone spoke against Israel, in a different country also certain things happen, this and that. This in a very circular manner, yes, it will leave an impression that everyone are talking about that what has happened there is wrong. But yes, don't do it. Don't do it. We understand that you want to create an impression all over the world that in India also a certain section is actually against the assassination of Hezbollah. But then talk about your own country. Let's we have enough problems over here. The only way to keep it right way is that let's safeguard each other. Let's talk about the good things that we can do over here in India, and let's not talk about what is happening about outside the world.
Okay.
Because things are going bad, and yes, things will go worse. Looking at the world news right now, it will go bad. So let's keep it very calm. Let's keep it very safe here in India.
Again, like I said, that's all of us being very, very idealistic here, and I appreciate that approach as well. But Professor JVR Shastri, who's being sent a message besides the government of India that listen, overnight, within 2 days, we can gather up 10,000 people on the streets in support of Hassan Nasrallah and Hezbollah?
See, look, the country is democratic and socialistic and republic country. People have certain responsibilities and duty to perform. Tomorrow we will have a war with Pakistan. There will be some clerics, so many people will die. Will they protest? Tomorrow we will have Houthis, we will have a war with Houthis. What will happen? Tomorrow maybe we have a war with Iran. What is meaning of the people doesn't have any meaning into it. Tomorrow there is a Hindu leaders will die in Nepal, Kathmandu, even though it's a Hindu country. All Hindu will come out and make a protest. What is the meaning of it? It's not it's a bilaterally, it is country to country. Even courts can't interfere in this. Even Supreme Court doesn't have any power to interfere. It's a bilateral issue. It is a defense and diplomacy of the day on that day the government will take action. What is Israel is doing, what is Palestine is doing, what is this? It is none of the people business. People can express, or they can write to the government. They can represent towards the Prime Minister and the government of the day. But they can't come out and simply we protest along with them, for them. Not even one person even met the Nasarullah. And they don't need to meet. What for you are protesting? Lebanon is coming forward and helping you all the time. It's not correct.
But Professor JVR Shastri, you raised an interesting point there. I just want to take you up on that. You say obviously none of these people have even met a Hassan Nasrallah, right? But it is possible that some of these leaders who gathered up this protest march, they've probably watched what he was doing online.
Absolutely political gathering. It's of some public people interest. They want to put like this. It is absolutely unconstitutional. They are violating the fundamental rights. And as a citizen of this nation, they don't have any right to do this. They don't have, even Supreme Court can't even intervene in this kind of things. Only the government think how it has to be handled in a bilateral way. And if at all people wants to convey, they can convey in writing towards the Prime Minister or External Affairs Minister or through a member of Parliament or through a MLA, respective governments. No need to bring into the streets and this. It is unacceptable in all terms. And it is not at all the right of the Indian citizen. The Indian citizen doesn't have any rights. Nor it is required, it is not at all a cup of tea. We are nowhere. Tomorrow we will have a fight with the Pakistan and we will kill so many people. What will happen? Ask them. Tomorrow we will have a war with Iran. Maybe there might be. What will happen? The governance can't. It is the government's duty to explain the governance through media. They should issue their circulars. No, it is not acceptable. It's absolutely not acceptable.
Okay.
What meaning of it?
Okay.
Why you are coming? You are a Sunni or a Shia, what is it? Your travel is being complimented by, given a complimentary by the Saudi Arabia for your Sunni Shia traveling to Makkah Masjid. The government has to contribute it here. You will have to be paid by the government of India. What nonsense is this? Is absolutely utter nonsense. It's absolutely utter nonsense.
Okay.
There are thousands of people died in 24/11, 27/11.
Yes.
And there are so many Christians, so many Hindus, so many Muslims. Why you have not protested on that?
Precisely, right?
And why you have not protested on this? Please allow me to speak because I waited for more than half an hour. You allow me to speak or otherwise I will discontinue it, I will walk out.
Professor Shastri, you're on air right now, sir.
Yeah, please. Then you are interfering so much. You should have some mechanism. There is a flow is happening. I am explaining the application.
But she has limited online time, sir. She's doing her job.
Okay, all right. Okay, I don't want to get into this, Professor Shastri. I have unfortunately 1 minute left. If you can sum up your thoughts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because government must come out and clearly. It is not a right. You can't protest somebody somewhere else is died or something is happening. We are nowhere connected to it. Because you are a Muslim, because I am a Hindu, because you are a Christian. No, sorry. It's 140 crores population. Our economy must go on. Peacefully we have to run the story and everybody is run the story. 140 आदमी की खाना जाना है, ब्रेकफास्ट लंच डिनर. आपकी प्रोटेस्ट से कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. You write to the MLA, you write to the MP, you elected the public representatives. You ask them to represent your expressions towards the government of India. This is the only mechanism left as far as the bilateral aspect is concerned. There is no other method. Bilaterally, you can't go to the court also.
Okay, all right.
You can't go to the Supreme Court and ask. Supreme Court will simply struck down and say no, we will not.
All right, Professor Shastri, understood your point. You're saying it's absolutely meaningless to protest on the streets for this. Joyita, I have 30 seconds left. I just want to understand from you, should the government then be looking into the credentials of the people who've set up this protest?
And it is the credential of the people. It is absolutely, their intention is absolutely bogus. It is absolutely bogus.
Right, but just from Professor Shastri, from a security point of view, I just want to get Joyita's perspective on this as well.
Yes, you see, what they first need to look at the influence of Iran in this. You know, how much influence does Iran have among these people? Because because we know that Iran is trying to, especially there are Shia. We know about the Shia crescent. Now there has been some talk about they are trying to penetrate Kashmir, and when they are talking about Lucknow and all, whether there is some kind of an Iranian influence or not, that is something they need to find out. Because the minute we are talking about Iran, even though we may have oil deals with them or not, whatever, we may have the Chabahar port and all, the fact of the matter is that an arm of Iran terrorism is also Iranian populism.
It's all something that
hold on, let me just speak,
it's something
please.
that you will keep on putting on.
Please.
Point is that
hello, let me speak.
These Maulvis need to be
may I speak, please?
Okay, one second, Shamshavish, I'll give you a chance. Let Joyita complete her point.
My point is that you have to, in terms of security angle, when you are looking at, here what we are witnessing is extraterritorial loyalty. So the minute you display come out and there is extraterritorial loyalty in display, you have to find out in terms of what is your motive, who is funding them, who is trying to penetrate these sections. Yes, it's a security concern.
Okay, Shamshavish wanted to respond to that.
Yes, it is utter nonsense here. It is only that the ones who have actually stood up here links with in actually no time you will declare them as a terrorist. So this going on the road part of the domain, the government of the have to tell them ये आपके domain का ये बात नहीं है. But then if you keep on saying कि उन्होंने ultimately know that in months you will declare as planning it.
No, but Shamshavish, no one's talking about declaring anyone anything. I think you've misunderstood what Joyita was saying. The simple point was, should one really look into what is the background then of these people? Why are they so bothered about Hassan Nasrallah? It's a simple question,
because
it's a rightful question the government can ask.
Because the mindset again. What? No, point is that when
what is the mindset, and why is the government's mindset being questioned when the mindset of the people are out on the streets? Protesting in favor of a terrorist can't be questioned, but the government must be questioned again and again for even raising a simple question that what is your relation to that man? Why are you so bothered? Answer it, explain it.
Simply ask that. Yes, you can do that, but then if you say that you have to keep a track, you Iran se
of course you have to keep a track.
That is there.
Okay. I just want to make a point.
But then you just simply, of course, as the what's their background, that's it. But itna involvement agar karoge, we know how the things are working over here. Something or the other.
What is working over here and not working?
I mean, Shamshavish Ren, what say that the government should probably not be even looking into the credentials of who these people are, who these Maulanas are, who are teaching our youth that Hassan Nasrallah was working for humanity. I think that's a bit of a stretch and an over expectation from the government of India. Joyita Basu.
Yeah, the whole point is, you see, what we are witnessing is a section of the radicalized youth which has come out on the streets, and the minute you are talking about a radicalized youth, these people, that is something the government needs to find out, what exactly are these people being taught. Now, when you are making a Nasrallah a hero, that is my main problem. Obviously, Iran and all, they have penetrated this section. You know, this is something that has been bothering me for the last few days. In fact, even before the Hezbollah Nasrallah died, what kind of influence does Iran have on these people?
Okay, I want to leave the last word with Major Muhammad Ali Shah. Major Shah, from a security point of view, the fact that there are just people who can come up with thousands of people on the street overnight, does that not require some inspection into who these people really are?
Right, Devika, I urge the people who are protesting to please calm down. No, don't go ahead with the protest, because it doesn't concern us. It doesn't concern our nation. Our nation should come first, always and every time. Now, my Shia friends would think that because I'm actually a Sunni Muslim, that's why I'm saying this. No, it is not about that. It's about the very fact that I'm an Indian before I'm a Muslim. And it's not about Shia Sunni, it's not about the religious thing. One should see that it doesn't affect us at all. It doesn't concern us. We should have our loyalties towards our nation, which we all should focus over here. That's why I said initially, I would have rather appreciated in case if they all would. It's not about Kuki or Maite, but Manipur overall as a state, which has contributed a great deal towards nation building, and now it's contributing towards world peace and humanity in Lebanon over there as well. So the very fact is, if one raises a voice against matters which concern us, yes. Otherwise, it's called totally with one word, that's Begani Shadi mein Abdullah Diwana.
Abdullah Diwana, exactly.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.